The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. My grandmother was an old woman. She was short, fat, and slightly bent. Her face was a crisscross of wrinkles. People said that she had once been young and pretty, even had a husband, but that was hard to believe. Grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose-fitting clothes. His long, white beard covered the better part of his chest, and he looked at least 100 years old. They looked perfectly mismatched. She, an old woman, and he, an ancient man. He died first, and the photograph of him was put in a dusty frame next to the mantelpiece. By that time, the grandmother looked so old that she couldn't grow older and had lots and lots of grandchildren. When I was a little boy, my parents left me with her. It was she who took charge of my education. She used to wake me up in the morning and get me ready for school. While she bathed and dressed me, she would stammer the morning prayers. I listened because I loved her voice but never bothered to learn it. Then she would fetch my wooden slate, which she had washed and plastered with red earth. She would give breakfast of a thick, stale chapati with a little butter and sugar spread on it. My grandmother always went to school with me because the school was attached to the temple. While the children sat in the veranda singing the alphabet or the prayer in a chorus, my grandmother sat inside reading scriptures. When we had both finished, we would walk back together. This continued for several years. Grandmother had always kept a routine, but she used to get disturbances when she saw me with books instead of religious texts at home. She was upset when she learned that they taught English and science at school and not about God and the scriptures. But she rarely spoke to me about her discontent. As the years went by, I moved, first to a city school and then to a university. The common link broke there. We became distant as I grew up, and those odd stares were no longer there. She accepted her seclusion with resignation. The time finally came. I decided to go abroad. At the railway station, she held me by her arms yet didn't show any emotions. She showed me a sign of a silent farewell. As she kept away from her routine and the years passed by, her health deteriorated. She accepted it without any complaints. On the last day, the drums and cymbals were played in her room as she lay lifeless. I returned to find her laid upon the floor covered with a white sheet, departed from this world without stirring any disturbance.